Well, I'm in Missoula right now, and I'm staying in a hotel because the homeless shelters have an intake on the weekends. And so, but I am so grateful and excited to be here. Um, I walked to Walmart, and coming from a small town to a much larger town, it's where there wasn't even a Walmart or fast food or it's cool. It's cool to be back to see. It's been almost 10 years since I've been here and since I walked around like I did before, and I have changed so much, and that's what I wanted to come on here and say was that it's amazing how much I have changed in over in that amount of time. And it's good. It's really good. What I do is I call my ancestors in all the time. I call my archangels in all the time. I call the angelic realm in all the time. Wherever I go, I carry crystals. I carry, and I activate. I bring in activation energies, and I do grid work. I do energetic work, and I call my star families in wherever I go. It doesn't matter. That's what I was at Walmart, and this guy, I was walking, and and I'm like looking around, just like amazed at the opportunity and the options and like the stuff that they have. And this guy stopped me and he was like, "You have an amazing smile." And I was like, "Thank you." It's like, I really, I said, "I really appreciate that. Thank you. I really do." He's like, "I just wanted to let you know that." He's like, "I'm sorry I had to stop you and tell you that." It's like, that's good. That's what I'm hoping to have. I want to smile. I want it to be genuine, authentic from my heart so that people can feel that love and feel that acceptance and feel that reception and welcoming energy. Not to the point where they can hurt me, but to the point where they feel okay and they feel like they can be accepted and be okay. I try and provide that energetic space around me for anyone and that's what I mean. I bring those energies in from above, from my celestial star families, from my ancestors, from my elementals, all the time, so that I can provide that energy for others as well. And so it's cool. It is cool to be recognized and appreciated even though people don't know. That's what's so crazy is walking around in normal life and doing what I do. No one knows that I'm bringing angelic energies in and that I'm emanating angelic energies for the highest good of all. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I will continue to do forever. When I woke up this morning, I was like, all right, ancestors, how do we want to do my hair? I try and put them in charge of like, of how they want me to be like, and my clairs are still coming online. That's the thing about it. The realm that we're in, it is not clear cut. It's not, there are channels and mediums that have that they're forgetting, they didn't forget as much. And so they're connected easier and they can hear like without a doubt spirit. But my journey back to spirit has to do with evolving and healing and integrating back the pieces of me that were fractaled and that were hurt and that were traumatized. And then, so doing that, the way that your clairs come on and the way that you come back to spirit and you come back to God and ascend back to God is completely unique to yourself. You just have to be open to receiving the signs around you and then interpreting them through your intuition with yourself, and believing and trusting that what you get is the divine and is God and is. That's what, before I left Plentywood, I was like, I was nervous, and I was like, but I can do this, you know what I mean? Like, I can do anything. I'm made of God. You know what I mean? Like, fear is bullshit. It's a lie, and it just keeps me from doing whatever I want. So if I fear something, I really need to do it. Honest to God, that's the truth. If I fear anything, or if I don't want to do something, or I'm hesitant, that means I got to do it even more, because I shouldn't feel like that. I shouldn't have anything that stands in my way. That is, with the exception is, as long as you don't hurt others and you don't let anyone hurt you. And that's the basic premise of everything. You know what I mean? That's respecting yourself and respecting everyone else in the same degree in life. But I have pure intentions anyway. I do not want anyone to hurt, and that's what was taken advantage of me for so long. Is that my pure heart is that I would do anything for people, and I had to learn my boundaries and learn that I have to love myself first before I can love anyone else. But once I fill my cup up, I can love too, but I can't let anybody take from me, because especially ones that want to energy harvest and energy siphon and steal and live off my light without permission and without consent. And the ways that we can actually give permission and consent energetically and not realize it, just by engaging with people in certain degrees, especially with emotional energy. If you let them have any kind of emotional energy from you, you are opening a portal to that person. If you let them get you upset, if you let them, usually not love, but you can get upset if it's not reciprocated. That's what I mean. Whatever kind of upset kind of emotion or negative emotion can create a portal to that person, and core to that person, any person, family members, friends, anybody. You know what I mean? It's just being aware of that, those energetic boundaries, and calling your energy back, and being firm, and standing in your truth about your boundaries, that keeps you from people being able to court, and harvest, and siphon from you. And I had learned this all the hard way. This is like ridiculously the hard way. Like, I had no idea. Like, that's what I mean. Even a year ago from now, I wouldn't have guessed where I am today. And I am really far, and I'm really glad, and I'm so grateful for my team, and I'm so grateful for God for showing me, and it's the blame thing, and judgments and criticism is all bullshit. That's what keeps us from God. That's what keeps us from being in our power, and from being happy truly from ourselves, in our truth, in ourselves. And so we can't let that, it's coming back to that knowing. That's what, like, I know that I have a divine inheritance. I broke generational curses, and so I have contracts with God, that and God fulfills His promises. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I have abundance, and I have generational wealth, and I have a legacy that I'm building, and that is built already, that I've been building, and that I've been co-creating with the divine, and with my ancestors, with my highest good, and with angels, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, and they've been waiting, because I've been courted to, and being energy siphoned and harvested from, for so long, that they couldn't give it to me, because I was energetically entangled to others. And so being brave in the way that I have, and deciding to leave everything that I knew that was familiar to me, and coming completely on the other side of the state of Montana to start new, whether I have anything or not, I have my spirit team, and I have the love within me, and I trust in myself, and I trust in my soul, and I trust in myself. I really do. I trust in my own decisions, and my cognitive functioning, and my abilities, and my fortitude. And so I know that no matter what, I don't, like, I didn't need to have, my neighbors helped me with money. You know what I mean? I just got a phone for the first time in 18 months, and I'm going to have to, it's a straight talk, but I'm going to have to set it up, but I'm letting it charge right now, but I'm literally going to be like, because I haven't had a phone, and I don't plan on being on it a long time. Like, I want to use it because we spend too much time in our energy. Our attention is our intention. Like, wherever our attention goes, our energy goes. So if we lock on, it's a way to distract us. It's a way to keep us from seeing or participating in life in the ways that we can, being present in the moment, and enjoying the journey of life in and of itself, in the present moment. There's so many things that have been pushed and manipulated and influenced and controlled for us to be distracted, so that our power will go elsewhere, and not let it be with us in the present moment. And so I'm not gonna go, I don't have my addictive personality that I had, that was spell worked upon me, but I defeated and overcame anyway. So thank you for spell working that on me anyway, because it made me have to face it. So, but I don't have that anymore. I don't have an addictive personality. I've had one though, so I have to be mindful, and I can't be prideful, and I got to keep myself in check with that too, because I'm human, and we just have those. We have those abilities, and we have the ability to go from one side of the duality scale or polarization to the other, to any which way degree. And it's up to us to make sure that we don't, and so that we don't veer off too much on one side or the other, whether positive or negative. It definitely has nothing to do with good or bad. That is a lie, and labeling, and it creates constructs and definitions, and limits the actual potential of anything. When you do that, when you judge something, you limit the potential of what it can be by doing so. And so honestly, and there's logic and stuff like that, and there's reasoning, and you got to use all that. That's how awesome and powerful we are, is that we have those versatile, multifaceted abilities and skills and talents, and multisensory perception and deduction of logic, and so many things that we can do. But we still got to keep our energetic bodies and fields in balance, to be able to trust that we are making the right decisions, or the best decisions for our highest good, and for the highest good of all, at any given moment. And that is to keep ourselves in check and balance. And that I have to too. Like I said, pride is a tricky one. It makes you not want to do, you're like, no, I don't want to do that, because I don't know. It makes it so you don't want to do stuff. Arrogance and pride and it's nothing negative. That's why we've been manipulated and influenced in believing it is, so that we wouldn't approach it and be able to overcome it, and to be more than that. And so if we judge it, then we won't go near it. Well, I'm not prideful, and that's being prideful when you do that. You have to look at yourself. Am I being prideful? Am I being humble? Am I actually, not letting fear and pride control me in that way? And you just got to check in with yourself, which I do that constantly. It's introspection. It has to be done, because I want to be balanced. But I wanted to come on here and share. Yeah, I'm really excited. Even though I'm in a hotel right now, and even though I'm going to a homeless shelter and all that kind of stuff, and even though it is the way that it is, I'm still grateful. I am, because I am not the person that I was. I've changed, and I'm changing more, and I can change even more. And that's the cool part about it, is that I am ever the student. I love Bronwyn's Tarot 111. She said that, ever the student, and it's true. You can't. That's where pride comes in. Is when you won't be ever the student, when you won't look at something and approach something with wonder and with curiosity and intrigue. Like, what can you learn from that situation? What can you learn from the moment? That's pride gets in the way of that, and so that's why keeping pride in check is so you can never be the student, and so that you can be wondrous, and you can be curious and intrigued and learn more and change more and become more and transform more. And so that's why I'm grateful. Like, literally, I'm like, but see, that's how much I've changed. It's like back in the day, I might have been angry. Oh, I'm in a hotel, mad about this or mad about that. And I've worked through that, and I've called in the energies to help me with that and support me in overcoming that, because that is not our divine blueprint. That is not our divine state. That is not our original state. Our original state is to be able to come into harmony 100% and live from gratitude and unconditional love and unity and compassion and empathy and humility and forgiveness and grace and mercy and so much more. And that is our natural state. We are actually made of angels. We actually are. We have angelic energies in our blood, and celestial and cosmic energies in our blood, in our DNA. But when we lowered ourselves and descended into the third density, it split and fractaled us, and to come, like I said, we have to heal. The only way to bring those fractals and that wholeness back to ourselves, to become what we've always been, the divine original blueprint that we always have been, the humility and the empathy and the love that is all of us, purity of it. It has to be healed for us to come back into that. And what a beautiful story. What a beautiful way for that to be told. To come back to God. Like, that's what's so cool. Like, I said that in another video. It's like breaking yourself apart and then putting yourself together whole and stronger in a different way than you were before. So it's like changing. You're mutating. You're becoming something different, but something of the same. You know what I mean? Something that you've always been. Something that you always were, but in a different way. And that's something to be awe-inspired about. That's something to be, revered, and something to be grateful for. It's just it's an amazing journey, and it's not our fault. It isn't. That's what I'm right now. My big thing is, it helps to forgive yourself, because we have to be empowered within ourselves. We are an empowered being, and so when we don't act in a nature that is empowering and that has our power within us, it goes against our nature, like I said. And so my thing right now is I forgive myself for forgetting who I am and what I am. That's like one of my, because I'm always doing affirmations and mantras and keep trying to heal myself and get myself whole again. That's my mission is to be 100% back to God, back to the divine, or 100% the best version of me that I can be at all times. Which means that I can change at all times to become that. And I'm fine with that. I embrace that. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's a really cool journey, and it's not what we thought it was. But we can get it back there. That's how strong we are. That's how awesome we are. That we can get back to what we were once before, but in a different way, in a unique way, in a cool way to ourselves. And that's beautiful. It's so beautiful. All right, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wish me luck.